Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah wa ba'd. So brothers and sisters, today we are at verse number 24. We're going to go up to verse 27, inshallah, Surah Al-Qasas. And lots of really amazing things will unfold. Now, the conversation continues. So remember that, these two women, Musa alayhi salam, helped them, get the drink and get some water for their animals, took care of all of that. And then that scenario was done. So what does Musa alayhi salam do after all of that is said and done? فَسَقَى لَهُمَا. So he gave them both a drink. He gave them all a drink. So all of the animals are taken care of. ثُمَّ تَوَلَّى إِلَى الظِّلِّ. Then he went back to his shade. Here's the hint. Tawalla means he was there and then he went back. Tawalla means he turned back towards the shade. So that means that Musa alayhi salam was already under a tree or a shade somewhere, and he saw all of this stuff unfold in front of him. He saw a bunch of people, bunch of men with their animals, giving them some water to drink. Then he saw these two women with their animals struggling with them. So after this long, tireless journey through the desert, the last thing that you want to do is offer help to anyone, right? When you go through on a journey like that, the last thing you're thinking about is, I'm going to exhaust more energy by helping other people. He wants to sit, relax, sleep, close his eyes, rejuvenate, and then continue his journey. But instead, he gets up and he's like, what's going on over there? And he goes out and he helps out, and then he comes back now to his shade. And when he sits down, look what he says. فَقَالَ رَبِّي. He starts making dua, subhanallah. إِنِّي لِمَا أَنزَلْتَ إِلَيَّ مِنْ خَيْرٍ فَقِيرٍ. I am restricted. I am whatever it is you limit me to, O Allah, with respect to the goodness that I'm desperate for and I'm in need. In other words, I am always, as long as I am alive, I am always poor of righteous deeds. I need to do more. I need to push myself more. I need to work more. I will always be poor when it comes to good deeds. I will never be rich of righteousness. I will never have enough. You see, this ending. So verse number 24, guys, I want to ask all of you, capture the ending of that verse. فَقَالَ رَبِّ إِنِّي لِمَا أَنزَلْتَ إِلَيَّ مِنْ خَيْرٍ فَقِيرٍ. Capture that verse. Save it on your, screensavers, have it in your room somewhere, and just keep looking at that verse every day. Every single day, keep looking at it. Verse 24 of Surah Al-Qasas. Because what this reminds you and I of, here's the core lesson here, is that we're never satisfied no matter how much righteousness we do. We'll always feel not in need. We'll always feel poor that we don't have enough. We need to fulfill more. We need to push ourselves to do more and more and more. When you have that kind of attitude with righteousness, what stops you? What's going to prevent you from doing any righteousness? Nothing. Because you'll always be spiritually poor. You're just in need of more. That's the dua of Musa alayhi salam. It's so deep. It's so beautiful. It's so unique. You'll never see a dua like this anywhere else. That's the dua of Musa alayhi salam. So think of righteousness. Think that he's a prophet here. But when all is said and done, this man feels like he has nothing in the world unless he sees an opportunity to do righteousness, which is the next lesson. Righteous deeds is not just, okay, here's what I need to do, let me get it done. It's also about being opportunistic, looking for moments and opportunities to do goodness, and you take full advantage of that. That's what Musa alayhi salam does. He's sitting under this shade of whatever, and he sees an opportunity to help some people. He doesn't say, I'm just exhausted, forget it. He pushes himself as best as he could, and he helps others. That's richness. That's wealth for him. Now, things get interesting. فَجَاءَتْ إِحْدَاهُمَا. So what happened here? These two ladies went back home. So after their animals were taken care of by Musa alayhi salam, they went back home. They told their father. Now, these details are not mentioned, but you have to imagine, because, they're human beings. You have to imagine that eventually they start going back to their house, to their tent, wherever they live, and they let their father know, yeah, we're done. They came home maybe a bit earlier, because usually the struggle with these animals would have delayed them a certain time, so the father's expecting them a little bit later. So they walk home back and they're there early, and he's like, you guys are done? You took care of the animals already? He's like, yeah. Today somebody helped us out. Today somebody helped us out. Now the father, when he hears somebody helped out his daughters, who is that? Yeah, it was this man. Came out of nowhere. Which man? He's protective. Which man? What did he say? Did he talk to you guys? Did he make a pass to any one of you? Was he social? What was he doing? So the father, after questioning his daughters, and the daughter's like, no, he didn't do any of that. He just asked us what was going on with us and the animals. And we told him that we're struggling, we're trying to get these animals to go. And he basically took the animals, gave them their drink, and returned the animals, and he didn't say a word. Nothing is mentioned about Musa alayhi salam says, well, you know what, maybe we can catch up a little bit later. Well, you know what, just let me know where you guys live, what village, and maybe I'll pass by a little bit later. He doesn't do any of that. Nothing. He just gives them back their animals and he walks away. So they're relaying all of this to the father. And the father's like, really? He didn't say anything else? That was it? He just took care of your animals and he walked away? I want to meet him. I want to meet this man. So the father sends one of the ladies. فَجَاءَتْ إِحْدَاهُمَا. Which one? We don't know. And you know something? This is Allah protecting the haya of this woman. We don't need to know who. We don't need to know, is it the one that gave him the sheep or took it back? None of those details. Sisters, the number one thing you work to protect, especially when you're talking to the opposite gender, is you protect your haya. And I've told you this before. Modesty is not you keep your head down. Yeah, okay, could I have my change, please? No, you don't stand behind a wall. You don't stand behind curtains all day. No. Protecting the haya is so much more. Those are all just examples or manifestations of a massive picture. It's the attitude, it's the voice, it's the behavior, it's all of those things. That's your gold. Protect that. Don't let anybody share that. Don't let anybody enjoy that. Don't let anybody see that. That's your gold. And Allah preserved it in this woman. Doesn't tell us anything. And look at the way she talks to Musa alayhi salam. Look at the way she talks to him. فَجَاءَتْ إِحْدَاهُمَا. So just one of them came back. So the father sent one of these two women back, go get this man. And she says, عَلَى اسْتِحْيَاءٍ istihya, that she protected her haya and her modesty. قالت, look what she says to Musa. إِنَّ أَبِي يَدْعُوكَ. Our dad, not me, our father is calling you. Not me, I have nothing to do with this. And she doesn't even say anything. She doesn't say, hey, assalamu alaikum, how are you? How's everything? Do you have some time to talk? Nothing. She just walks up to Musa alayhi salam and says, our father is calling you. No small talk, no smile, no nothing. She gets right to the point. Another lesson when it comes to gender interaction. Stick to the point. If you're learning, learn. If you need to have a conversation, you need to have questions asked and answered, ask your question, walk away. This is for both genders. Okay, we're not just talking about women, we're both men and women. Just get to the point. No talk, nothing else is here. It's just, this is the subject, this is my purpose, this is the only reason I'm going to talk to you, because our dad is calling you. That's what I came to deliver. Inna abi yad'uk. Now, is it safe to assume that this woman, she's nervous? Yeah, she's nervous. She's not used to walking up to a man and just talking to him, just like that, especially somebody she doesn't know. She's never seen before. And on top of that, her father told her to go and do this. So she's nervous. Look how she speaks. لِيَجْزِيَكَ. So he can pay you compensate you. أجر, full compensation. ما سقيت لنا, when you took care of our animals, what you did for us. You know, أجر is a partial reward. جزء, جزاء. So jaza is a partial reward. Ajrun is the complete full reward. She says both. So it's hinting like she's stuttering or she's a little bit nervous. So it's like saying, yeah, our dad is calling you so he could just pay you the full, like everything, just give you something compensation for what you did for us. She's not used to this. See, her haya, a lot of it comes out no matter how much she tries to protect it. Because why? Human being. That's the tendency. When you get involved in something you're not used to or accustomed to, there's always the tendency to be a little scared and a little nervous, a little bit hesitant. You don't know, you can't find the words, don't know how to frame it. So she's like, yeah, part of the whole reward or all of it or something. That's what she's saying. Subhanallah. Continues. فَلَمَّا جَاءَهُ, Musa alayhi salam doesn't say, no, it's okay, jazakallah khair. Doesn't do any of that. Doesn't know what we do. If somebody wants to offer us some food, some money, a gift, no, you don't have to do that. I did this for Allah, just leave it all. No, khair, I don't care. Actually, the sunnah, our Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam, every time he received a gift, he accepted the gift. That's adab. That's good manners. Don't make the person feel bad. They went out of their way to get you something. Take it. Jazakallahu khair. May Allah Azza wa Jal reward you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Accept it. That's the sunnah. Unfortunately, some cultures, I don't know why. Somebody brings you a gift, a nice pen or something, or a watch or whatever. It's like, I just want to gift you something because of what you've done for us. No, you don't have to do that. I'll just take it, give it to your brother. No. How does the person feel? That they've gone through all of that trouble, and now you're basically saying to them, no thanks. Your efforts, your gift, no. Accept it. It's a gift. The intention behind it all was for you anyway, so take it. And let that person, and you know, also part of the sunnah is that if you get a gift that you like a cloth or a garment or a watch or something that you can put on or use, and you're able to do that in front of the person who gave it to you, you're able to like put on the watch that they gifted you with or the jacket that they gave you, you should try to make the intention to wear those things in front of them for obvious reasons, right? When they see you wearing it, oh, mashallah, man, it looks so good. How does that make them feel? You have nothing to lose because you didn't buy it, you didn't pay for it, but just at least make the person feel like that their courtesy that they've extended to you was worth it. And that you appreciate it by using what they've given you. You appreciate that. You just dump it in the closet, dump it in the drawers, leave it at home. And it's like, yeah, do you still have that thing I gave you 17 years ago that you've never worn? You still have it? Don't make them think those things. That's what shaitan does. Shaitan gets into their mind and be like, you wasted your money. You wasted your time. You shouldn't have given them anything. They never wear it. They never use it. Did you ever see them with it? Look at that. Don't give. As a matter of fact, don't buy any gifts for anyone because nobody appreciates things these days. That's what shaitan will do to the one who gives, the one who's gifting others. So the way that you can eliminate all of that is show that adab that you appreciate by using the things that you're gifted. The Prophet ﷺ was given cloth and gowns. He was given capes and he would wear it. And he would show others and companions would ask him about it and he would wear it. This was the adab. So Musa ﷺ doesn't say nothing. He sees this as an opportunity that, wait a minute, this could be the response to my dua. Now this could be another opportunity for me to do something for somebody else. The Father wants to meet me. Maybe I have another opportunity to do some more good. Maybe this is exactly what I mean. I could probably get a job. I could probably work. I could probably settle because I have nowhere to go. I left Egypt. I'm walking in the middle of the desert. I don't know where to go. This could be the answer to my dua. So what does Musa alayhi salam react with? فَلَمَّا جَاءَ, when he came to the Father, فَلَمَّا جَاءَهُ وَقَصَّ عَلَيْهِ الْقَصَصِ, Musa alayhi salam and the Father sat down and he told him everything. You know, وَقَصَّ عَلَيْهِ الْقَصَص, he gave them all of his life story to the father. Yeah, this is where I came from. I was raised in this palace, you know. They found me. I don't know where I came from, but everything. And he also, it's safe to also assume, because of, by now, from Surah Taha to this surah, we have a good idea of just how honest and innocent Musa alayhi salam is. So he would have told his father, he would have come clean. Yeah, actually, I accidentally killed somebody. So that's why I left Egypt and I was walking away. That's why I'm here. Because I can't go back there. I'm wanted. A verdict was given out for my death. So I was like, it was an accident. This is what happened. This Israelite was in trouble. I intervened. He asked me for help. I accidentally hit this guy, fell to the ground. He came clean. What's the lesson here? Brothers in particular. Brothers, but everyone, brothers and sisters. Anything that you know will affect your future relationship with your potential spouse, come clean with it. Don't keep that stuff. You know, I get asked a lot about past sins. You know, Brother Muslah, I've done so much wrong in my life. Now I'm engaged to this guy. Now I'm engaged to this girl. Should I tell him or her everything? You only tell and expose the things you know will have a direct effect on the relationship. That's it. Everything else that's personal, that's between you and Allah. But come clean in the beginning. You know why? Can you imagine then if later on in life, after kids, after several years, he or she finds out certain things about you, like, why didn't you tell me? I didn't know you did that. I didn't know you were involved in that. If I did, I would have never married you. Does this sound familiar? This is so common. Musa alayhi salam is coming out with everything. He's like, look, this is who I am. So if you're going to kick me out or you're going to punish me or something, I'm coming clean. This is who I am. This is what I've done. But it's going to have a different effect. Because the flip side of that is not, oh, this is going to be so risky for him. He's going to become so vulnerable. No, it could also work for him. The father could see that, man, this guy's so honest. He's telling us everything about himself, even all of those skeletons in the closet he's exposing to us. He's a really honest guy. That's very brave of him to do that. So what happens? قَالَ لَا تَخَفْ. The father says, don't be afraid. Subhanallah. The father appreciates Musa's honesty. لا تخف نجوت من القوم الظالمين. You are safe now from all of those wrongdoers. Don't worry, you're okay here. قالت إحداهما. One of these ladies, so there's a bunch of these ladies, all of his daughters now are together. They probably heard some of the conversation, etc., right? And they heard all of the honesty of Musa alayhi salam. So one of them says, and by the way, we're going to learn here that daughters have a say when it comes to the family business. They have a say. Because after all, they're doing a lot of the legwork here. They're taking the animals, they're taking them by the river, giving them a drink. They are very much part of that business. So they also have a voice when it comes to taking the business to the next level. So all of those masajid and Islamic institutes that don't have a single board member who's a female, learn something from this. Because now she's contributing. One of the daughters says to this business, to this institute here, Ya abati, oh my dear father, istajirhu. Why don't you hire him? Because look how honest he's been with you. You know, trust is the number one quality for a successful business. It's not skills. That's secondary. When you can find an employee that you can trust, that's an incredibly difficult and unique thing to find. When you can find a trustworthy employee for your business is far greater, more valuable and superior than the person who has 10 PhDs and has all the skills on the planet, but you can't hand them the keys to your business. You can't trust them. But they might know everything how it works inside out. That's one thing. Trust is always number one. When you have trust, all of the skills come in later. That's automatic. So they see that Musa alayhi salam, because of his honesty, we can trust him. Why don't you hire him? He's already gone through the probational period. We've already seen him, how he took care of our animals and what he did for us, and he asked for nothing in return. Dad, hire him. You know, some of the scholars said this was also because these daughters had so much haya and modesty in them. This was one of them saying, I like him. Hire him. But she doesn't say, I like him, or I think he's cute, or look at his arms, or anything. No. She's saying, hire him, and this is kind of an indirect way that she's interested. Some of the ulama said that. Why did they say this? Look what happens next. إِنَّ خَيْرَ مَنِ اسْتَأْجَرْتَ الْقَوِيُّ الْأَمِينَ. The best of the person that you hire is the one that is strong and trustworthy. Okay. قَالَ إِنِّي أُرِيدُ أَنْ أُنْكِحَكَ. Subhanallah. The father says, I want to marry one of my daughters to you. Whoa. Dad, I just said to hire him. I didn't say I wanted to marry him. Parents know their kids. The father, this is his way of saying, yeah, sure, hire him. Okay. I know you. I raised you. You're my daughter. It's okay, I get it. And it's fine. You like somebody. And I like him too. So don't worry, I'll take it from here. So what does he do? He proposes to Musa alayhi salam on behalf of his daughter. What do we learn here? You don't have to wait for the guy to do it all the time. You know how some cultures do that? You'll wait like until she's gray-haired and she's 65 years old, her teeth is falling off before the guy can come and propose. You're just going to keep her waiting and waiting and waiting. She's been interested in him for the last like 40 years. But you say, no, you're my daughter. We don't go proposing to anybody. You got to wait. That they bring the whole party and the and everything, all the gifts, and then shower us, and that's it. It's our culture, it's our dignity. Girls don't ask for guys, it never works that way. What's happening here? The father took over the conversation. He said, I'll do it. And he says clearly, straight out, I want to marry one of my daughters to you. He doesn't say which one. Because if Musa alayhi salam rejects, or is like, listen, I'm not interested in any of that, he wouldn't know the identity of who. So then she won't feel embarrassed in front of him. You see, do you see that? Because if he knew who she was, then shaitan wouldn't get into his head and be like, oh, next time I'm going to lift up my sleeve a little bit higher. It's just like, you know, it's like if the sister sees somebody she's interested in, right? And she like, I don't know, she prayed tarawih behind him or something, right? And she loved his recitation and blah, 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 blah. And later on, you know, the father inquires and be like, yeah, you like him? Okay, fine. Talks to the brother. So how long you've been leading tarawih here? Blah, blah, blah. And everything continues. And then he just says, you know what, really, I'm not interested. I'm already engaged to somebody else. He doesn't say to her, yeah, I am the father of so-and-so. You guys are in the same class. She comes to this masjid all the time. She's always praying behind you. If she finds out, Dad, you told him who I am, now I can't go to that masjid anymore. And then all of a sudden, he irons out all of his clothing. He starts busting out his Mashari Rashid voice. He starts going crazy. It's really awkward. And for her in particular, she might feel upset. She might feel a bit embarrassed. She might feel like, I don't want to be around. And this table can be flipped the other way too. She rejects him. And he's like, I don't want to go around her anymore. Well, I'm going to look like a fool. I'm the reject. So to avoid all of that, he says, I want to marry you one of my daughters. I'm not telling you which one though. So beautiful. Let's conclude. There's so much to talk about here. إحدى بنتي هاتين على أن تأجرني ثمانية حجج. So one of my daughters, one of these two, I'm not going to tell you who, but the condition is that you work for me for at least 8 years. Hijaj, hijjatun from hajj. Back then, the way that they used to keep track of a year is they would say one hajj, because they know hajj would happen once a year. So it will be one hajj, two hajj, and plural hijaj. ثمانية حجج. You work for me for at least 8 years. So, my future son-in-law, I've already got a job for you. I've already got a place for you to live. So you don't have to worry about stability in the future. That's all taken care of. Just work for me. Subhanallah. Is not one of those moments what some cultures do? Yeah, brought in my son-in-law. I got to take care of him. Son-in-laws out there, if your father-in-law or your in-laws in general offer you a job, take it. That's the initial response is look at it as an opportunity to better yourself, to improve. And then you can work at all the finer details later on. But at least consider it. That's what we're learning from here. فَإِنْ أَتْمَمْتَ عَشْرًا فَمِنْ عِنْدِكَ. SubhanAllah. He's like, the father says to Musa alayhi salam, but if you want to complete 10 years, that's from you. That'll be voluntarily. I'll appreciate it. I'll take it. That's no problem. So if you want to go to 8, that's the bare minimum. But if you want to go to 10 years and work for me, أهلا وسهلا, no problem. وَمَا أُرِيدُ أَنْ أَشُقَّ عَلَيْكَ. I'm not going to be a burden to you. I'm not going to intervene in your relationship, in your marriage. I'm not going to be looking down on you like a hawk, monitoring every inch, every word you say to her. And the moment you slip, the moment you make a mistake, because unfortunately you're a human being just like everybody else. So if you say one thing wrong, I'm not going to come and, Bismillah, Allahu Akbar to you. I'm just going to step out, let you guys work through your struggles, work through your problems. I'll give you a chance. I won't be a burden on you. That's what the father says to Musa alayhi salam. Satajiduni insha'Allahu min as-salihin. You're going to find me insha'Allahu ta'ala. You're going to find me somebody who's a good person. You'll see that. Satajiduni, you'll see it. Meaning the father's going to show you. He's not going to be like, you can trust me, I'm a good man. I'm nice and I'm kind. It's not just talk the talk. The father is saying, you're going to see me walk the walk. I will be a good person. I will be a good father-in-law to you. We're going to pause there, inshaAllah ta'ala. There's some more things to talk about, but I just want you to digest some of the things that we've talked about when it comes to gender interaction, when it comes to engagement, when it comes to all of the cultural barriers, some of the crazy stuff that we do that makes the process of getting to know somebody or connecting with somebody for a marriage so darn difficult, so complicated. These are things that we do. I've said this over and over. We make Islam so difficult. And Islam in and of itself is so easy and straightforward. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, out of His mercy, makes things so clear. Mubin, as He describes it. Clear, obvious, no ambiguity in it. All the ambiguous things, we as human beings, we're the ones that put that into the religion. So I'm going to pause here, inshaAllah ta'ala. Let this marinate in your heart, in your mind, about the engagement of Musa alayhi salam. May Allah Azza wa Jal bless all of you and take care of all of you, inshaAllah ta'ala. Allahumma ameen. Tomorrow we continue, bi-idhnillah. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.